and welcome to this episode of Hot Topics with Fire Educator D. Today we're going to be talking about fireworks safety and alternative methods for your fireworks and 4th of July celebrations this year. The National Fire Protection Association has some statistics that I would like to share with you. An estimated 19,500 fires started by fireworks were reported to local fire stations in 2018 in the U.S. The fires caused 5 civilian deaths, 46 civilian injuries, and 105 million in direct property damage. This reporting runs a little bit on a delay because the estimates of the results of 2020 are not in yet. They know that there's going to be a drastic increase just because so many people resorted to consumer fireworks because we could not go to the professionals for fireworks last year due to the pandemic, of course. Some of the injuries listed in 2018 were an 18-month-old was burned when their foot stepped on a burning sparkler. A 2-year-old burned their eyelid when they touched a sparkler that had burned out but was still hot. An 11-year-old suffered a corneal abrasion when the firecracker he was holding relit and went off. And then someone aimed a Roman candle into a group of people and the device burned a 13-year-old's back and neck. These are just a few of those injuries that were reported. So today we are joined with Jeff Hale, who is a professional pyrotechnician, and we're going to talk to him and have him answer some questions for us to help us understand just how important it is to really leave fireworks to the professionals. Hello, Jeff. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I hope you are.
I'm terrific.
Good. So
we're going to have a fireworks season this year.
Yes, that is one of my questions that I added in at the end, and so we'll get to that. How exciting, because 2020 was terrible that we couldn't go see the good stuff, yeah. Right? So tell us a little bit about yourself, and how long have you been doing fireworks?
Well, I run a company called Hale Artificial Air Fireworks. We're based out of Lexington, North Carolina. This year is year 37 for me in the fireworks business. So we've been doing this a long time. And I got 10 fingers and 10 toes.
Which is a great feat, yes. So considering that it takes a minimum of about 4 years for a fire inspector to become a level 3 inspector, which is the inspector's level that is for us to even come out and inspect your display, how long does it take for you to become qualified to actually shoot these displays?
Generally speaking, on an average, it could take as much as a year or more to gain your pyrotechnics license. We have a pretty involved class that you have to attend. Then you have to get your letter of clearance from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. All that is a process that takes along.
So this is not just someone saying, I'm going to do this and running out and doing it, and they've never done it before.
Oh, no, quite the contrary. And even back before the licensing program, fireworks, there are some of us who just really like it and are good at it, and then some people we just have to kind of watch out for because they're not going to be suited to be a display operator.
Right. So when you look, these are some consumer fireworks that we could buy right here at some of the stands locally. When you look at these consumer fireworks, what are some issues that you may have seen or you know about just by looking at these that could cause a problem for the general consumer?
The most important thing with consumer fireworks, and it's important to remember that North Carolina is a safe and sane state. So anything that moves across the ground or spins or goes up in the air and has a loud report is not legal in North Carolina. But for these little devices, the most important thing is stability, how well they're going to sit up on the surface that you place them on.
And that one's rocking a little bit.
Yeah, it's not. So if you're just out in your yard and you're putting it out on the grass, as innocuous as it seems, if it tips over, then you're going to start a fire.
Yes.
You don't certainly ever hold these in hand. So stability, number one, you want to make sure that they're on a really nice, hard, flat surface before you try to attempt to light it. Nearly all of the injuries from consumer fireworks are from misuse of fireworks and or people who are trying to modify the fireworks in some way to try to enhance their performance. Fireworks are pretty much still a handmade device, so they can do anything at any time. Once you light the fuse, you really no longer have any control over. So that's a big thing. And then also, in a very high percentage of the fireworks accidents, there is some alcohol involved. So alcohol and fireworks do not mix. You always hear the phrase, "Here, hold my beer." Well, that doesn't work. Even the smallest, most innocuous device like this can cause severe injury. You want to follow the labels on the box. Most all of them have some instruction on how to do it. Place on hard level surface, light fuse, get away. That is some form of instruction that you need to follow. And the biggest thing I see is people trying to hold it in their hand. And here's a good example. This is a little 1 1/4 inch aerial shell. That's just not legal in North Carolina, but and you load it in the tube and it launches, and it's supposed to be set on the ground. Well, even the smallest fireworks like this functions just like the great big shells that I use in my displays.
Even a sparkler, these little sparklers like these, a lot of people don't realize that they burn at around 1200 degrees. That's super hot, especially if you've got a child holding it.
The number one cause of injury on the 4th of July still is the lowly sparkler.
Yes.
Mainly because people consider them to be pretty innocuous.
Dangerous, right.
You hand it to your 2-year-old, she runs around the house, burns her hand, throws it in the leaf pile, and burns the garage down.
Right.
But again, the statistics prove time and time again, sparklers are one of the number one causes of injury and fire on the 4th of July.
Yes. Have to be supervised, that's for sure. So the NFPA and the fire service overall reminds everyone each year that especially around the 4th of July, to not use commercial fireworks and to try to attend a professional display such as what Jeff puts on. So as a professional pyrotechnician, what advice would you offer to the consumers out there who may be looking to purchase the consumer fireworks for this Independence Day?
If you're going to buy and use consumer fireworks, find a reputable dealer, someone who's been around and knows their product. You don't want to buy it from the guy's station wagon that's parked in the parking lot over there. You want to go to a dealer. You want to make sure that you've got a large open area in your yard and have a platform. I recommend a sheet of plywood or something like that that'll give you a hard level surface to set these on. You want to make sure that you also have your water hose or a bucket of water or any kind of fire extinguishment. It doesn't have to be a fire extinguisher. Your water hose is a great thing, but have it handy so you can use it immediately and not have to go fumble around for it for 15 or 20 minutes.
Right.
Keep all your smaller children out of the way. You don't light anything and hand it to the kids because they just really don't understand the dangers. Remember that North Carolina, being a safe and sane state, it is a Class 1 misdemeanor, and you can get charged
Absolutely.
if you get busted for using fireworks. Now, that being said, there are so many people that are going to go to South Carolina or Tennessee and buy the illegal type fireworks and use them. But if you're going to do that, you'll also want to inspect all your devices before you're firing. Make sure that they're intact. Make sure that the fuse is intact and not loose. Remember, how many times do these get handled from the time they're manufactured in China to the time they actually get put on the shelf? So they can get squishy and busted up and loose. The worst thing you can do, even with one of these little fountains, if that powder that's packed in that little tube becomes really, really loose over years of being handled and mushed and carried around, then it becomes loose and it could actually explode instead of doing what it's supposed to do.
Right. Do you feel that the year 2021 will provide us with more professional fireworks displays as we're relaxing with some of the COVID restrictions?
Well, my own business, yes, we're probably at about 75% of the displays that we normally perform in a year for the 4th of July. So we're really anticipating a pretty busy summer.
Nice.
Some of my concert venues are coming back. Baseball's coming back. We're still waiting to see what the North Carolina Fair Association is going to be. I know that the State Fair has said they're going to be back. I do quite a number of fairs. We've got one booked, the Drexel Community Fair. It's in August. That's one of the first fairs in North Carolina, and we've already contracted with them too. So we're hoping. The spring shows haven't come up, but on from July on into the fall, yes, we're hoping for a big season.
Okay, great. We're looking forward to it.
Me too.
I know lots of people are looking forward to the fireworks because we completely missed out on the big stuff last year, so we're looking forward to that. So thanks, Jeff, for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks for providing all that great information because that was some really good information there. So And keep in mind that in the city of Greensboro, fireworks of any type, even these type, are illegal. There is a city ordinance on that, so they're not permissible in the city of Greensboro. If you're watching this and you're in the county area and you do decide to use the consumer fireworks, please follow Jeff's tips and be as safe as possible, and remember that alcohol and fireworks do not mix. So if you're looking to have that fireworks party this year and you just want some alternative things because you've got kids going to be there and you want them to be able to have some fun, there's a few alternatives that you can use. Glow sticks are really fun for the kids. You can get all types, all shapes. You can have them where they go together and make shapes. You can make necklaces and things like that. Maybe that would be a great alternative to your sparklers that we talked about could be the issue. And then there are some that come with the necklaces like this on a string. And then there's always the confetti that you can put inside latex balloons, red, white, and blue latex balloons. Put the confetti in it, blow them up. The kids pop them, the confetti comes out. So it's sort of like fireworks because this is the foil type that reflects light. So if you had lights on that, it would kind of give you the same idea as the fireworks. Some other things that we've talked about in the past have been making colored bubbles. You can use dishwashing detergent and some other things. That will be on our website, so look for that. But you can make colored bubbles and just different displays for the tabletops, maybe a half of a ball of styrofoam and stick some of these shorter glow sticks in it. Makes a nice centerpiece for the table. Many alternatives. Keep a check on our website on the Facebook page, Greensboro Fire Department, and we'll be putting some more tips and tricks on there for you. Have a great holiday season, and thanks for joining us.